My guests are Wendy Jones and Giovanni Green. They're with the Power Walking Ministries, headquartered out of Southport, am I right?
That's correct.
Wendy, the two of you have a great story to tell us today, and I'll start with you. Let's talk about how Power Walking Ministries got started. I know you're integral to that.
Yes, well, I'm a physical education teacher at Southport Elementary School, and on the side we had a small ladies' Bible study in 2007, and we wanted to make an impact on the community, so we prayed about having an outreach in the Southport area. And we decided together to have an outreach with tennis shoes with the students. And of course, since I'm in the school system as a physical education teacher, I thought it would just be perfect. So that's how Power Walking Ministry started.
Now, we call them tennis shoes here in the South,
Yes,
but they're
we do.
running shoes, tennis shoes, various sports-related
Yes,
shoes.
athletic shoes.
Good term, athletic shoes. When did you begin?
2007.
Okay, you've been here, gosh, 9 years already.
Yes, and it started very small, just for Southport Elementary, and then each year we would expand, and we expanded to South Brunswick Middle, and then to the high school, and then out into Bolivia, the Bolivia Elementary. So it stayed at those 4 schools for several years.
And I'm jumping ahead of things, but we might as well say it right now. Your goal is to be countywide.
Yes.
Am I correct?
This year we are kicking off every school in Brunswick County. So we're going to be covering 17 schools. We're also partnering with Matthew's Ministry,
Right.
which is a food backpack program. And Christy Dispro is in charge of that, and she covers 13 schools. So we've been piggybacking with her
Great.
the last year.
Well, we'll also jump ahead and say that the two of you are the beneficiaries of the Sheriff's annual nonprofit gala, which is coming up on March
the 3rd, Friday.
March 3rd.
Yes,
Tickets are available.
They are available, and we're so excited. This is huge for us, and we need
Absolutely.
as many participants and sponsors as we can get, because right now we are helping 500 children with food and covering their feet with good shoes, good tennis shoes.
Well, and after all, let's remember that for our young kids and for all of us, we have to meet basic needs before we can meet others.
Absolutely. And there's nothing more important than having food for their bellies and good shoes on their feet. That's why we're
Absolutely.
calling it the Food and Feet program.
Okay, I didn't know that. Food and
Yes,
feet.
food and
Good,
feet.
Good. Giovanni, we spoke before we went on the air, and you have a terrific story to tell us and our viewers. You attend South Brunswick Middle School?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
right? And you were the victim of a terrible accident a few years ago.
Well, it's just last year,
Okay.
and I went to the 4th of July, and I was struck by a car, but way before that, I was originally from Kingston, Jamaica.
Right.
And I came to America, I think in 2009, and I lived in New York. Then I moved down here in North Carolina, and my speed.
Let me say it very quickly. You were one of the fastest runners in the school,
Yes, sir.
right? And I think you still hope and expect to be as you recover from this injury, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a terrific story, and I want our viewers to know just a little more about it. But you also know Ms. Jones.
Yes,
The two of you
sir.
are not strangers to one another, correct?
Correct.
Tell us about that.
Miss Jones has been my elementary school PE teacher since I came to elementary school in 1st grade.
Mm-hmm.
And through 1st grade, Miss Jones has been my elementary school teacher, and she's like the best, most awesome person I know.
I can tell from the smile on your face and the words in your mouth, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You've also been the recipient of a few pairs of shoes. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because, well, I was from Jamaica, and like in Jamaica and stuff, I wasn't very rich. And in America, I wasn't. I'm still not very rich and stuff. So, way back, in elementary school, I was very poor and stuff. So, I didn't like my shoes were not very good.
Sure.
They had they were beginning to have holes in them and stuff, but I didn't let that bother me. I still.
Running's a national pastime in Jamaica, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Even more so than
Usain
here in
Bolt.
the States, wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir.
Right. Wendy, in addition to the Sheriff's Gala, which provides some funding for you, what are the other sources of funding?
We have a lot of community outpouring and outreach through the churches, the local churches in Brunswick County, and also in Wilmington that have helped sponsor children. And I also am a vocalist and a minister, a ladies minister, and go to conferences, and they give donations and love offerings for our children to provide the proper shoes that they need.
So it's a nonprofit, but for you and a few others, it's much more than a nonprofit. It's a labor of love.
It is. It's a passion of mine for children to have good shoes on their feet and to be comfortable. And there's so many children in our school system that have shoes that are hand-me-downs and that are too big or too small and very uncomfortable. So I look at every child as I look at my daughters, and I want them to have the very best shoes provided. So we do special requests for the children, and we try to make the shoes as personable as possible. We ask for favorite colors, particular styles.
So you
that
buy
we like.
individually?
We do.
Okay.
We do. And I have a local shoe store that will give us a discount.
That was going to be my next question,
Yes,
but go right ahead.
a local discount, so that really helps tremendously. But we buy the shoes one pair at a time, reaching one child at a
Sure.
time. So
We who are so fortunate might not appreciate how ragged these shoes are at times. Could you tell us and show us?
absolutely, I have a few. This particular shoe right here was one of the first children that we helped, and he actually had a hole in the bottom of his shoe. So we cherished this shoe.
Sure.
Because
One of
this was one that we provided a great pair of shoes for, and he certainly appreciated it.
Sure.
We also have a shoe that was duct taped because the sole was coming apart. So we had to actually wear it duct taped for a day because I did not have any shoes. He had to wait a day to get a brand new pair of shoes. So these are just a few examples. One more of a child that did not even have a pair of tennis shoes,
Wow.
and he was wearing these boots here. Now I had a hard time getting this particular pair of boots away from him.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
Just to show he cherished these boots.
Uh-huh.
They were important to him, but he let me borrow it.
Now, my question is not meant to be a silly one. Obviously, you see kids whose soles are falling off, but you identify kids in need of shoes in other ways, I'm sure, through the teachers or
Absolutely.
other
We
ways.
have parent facilitators at the
Okay.
elementary schools, social workers,
Okay.
guidance counselors that will provide us information with the children that are in desperate need.
Sure.
And those are the children that we service, the students that we service and we help. There are a lot of the children that we help are through the backpack program, and they currently serve 500 students. So our goal for 2017 is to provide children, 500 children, with a pair of tennis shoes, but we would love to do that 2 times a year.
Great.
Get them a new pair of shoes in the fall and in the spring.
Great.
So that's 1,000 pair of shoes right off the bat.
Now, Giovanni, you said something to me before we went on the air, and I think it's so poignant that I want you to tell it to us again. You said, these shoes bless my feet. Did you say that?
Yes, sir.
Tell me how you came to say that.
How was because I've never had shoes like Miss Jones has got me. The shoes feel so good on my feet. It just bless my feet because they help me to run faster and to do it well. I can't run right now, but when I
You will.
Yes, yes, sir. But they help me to do so much things, and they help my foot, and they help just everything on my foot.
Well, you bless us all by telling your story.
Thank
It's
you.
a terrific story. I want to wrap up with you, Wendy. Let's remind our viewers of the time and place of the Sheriff's Gala and the fact that you're always looking for helpers, volunteers, assistants, donors, anyone who can help in any way.
Anyone. We're always looking for drivers because sometimes
Good
we have to
point.
transport the tennis shoes
Good point.
to every school in the county. So that's 17 schools. We need those drivers. And also monetary help would be tremendous, and then we could go and purchase the shoes, or if they would like to sponsor a student and actually buy a pair of the tennis shoes for that child, that would just bless our ministry beyond words.
Power Walking Ministries, Wendy Jones, Giovanni Green, thank you both for being with us and telling us your story.
Thank you for having me.